Hello and welcome to, I should say, it's a great start, isn't it? Cadiz. I'm actually in Cadiz for a couple of days. Liana and I have taken a couple of days out just to drive down the coast. And I'm trying to keep constant with my 21 videos in 21 days, which, as you may recall if you've watched my previous video, is because I'm incredibly fortunate to now have 21,000 YouTube subscribers. So I wanted to try and do 21 videos in 21 days, but also because going live is not my strong point. And I thought, well, this is a great opportunity to really kind of practice and try to polish out loads of wrinkles. Thank you so much, by the way, for confirming, as so many of you have done, that going in landscape mode is the way to go. So I wanted to quickly snap this video off just before we completely lose all the light. And I'm actually going to respond to a question that Gareth Thomas has kindly asked me. And that was basically simply, why am I in property? Now, I never really kind of talk about myself, but I wanted to share that one because I think it is quite an important thing to share if you kind of have been interested in any of my YouTube content over the past few weeks and months and so on. Because I'd never really talked about it before, at least I don't think I have. The reason I got into property, I've always kind of dabbled in property in the past. I sort of buy properties, refurbish them and sell them on. But something happened in 2012 which kind of shook everything up in my world. As you may or may not be aware, I had a kitchen company, a pretty successful kitchen company on the south coast. And basically I had a guy that was working for me for 21 years, who very sadly passed away. It kind of happened overnight, basically. He was one of my kitchen fitters. And for me, that kind of changed everything. I kind of took a bit of time out. And I remember so clearly worrying myself sick, frankly, over the idea of what would I do, or rather what would my wife do, if something was to happen to me. So for this reason, I started to look around me, and I started to look for other ways that I could generate a relatively passive income through, putting some effort in now, but kind of reaping the rewards, rather than going out and sort of seeing Mr. and Mrs. Jones for the 10th time because they've changed the colour on their door handles again. So I decided ultimately that property was the place that I wanted to kind of get involved. I wanted to sort of start to build a bit of a property portfolio. I'd always sort of bought, refurbished, sold, as I said, in the past. But I decided that I had to start taking this seriously. So I invested quite a lot of money in my education, and ultimately changed everything for me in 18 months. It was a real roller coaster of 18 months. I made some mistakes. I had some really big successes. I made more and more mistakes. Generally speaking, I tended to get sort of 51% of it right and 49% of it wrong. And within 18 months, I had actually replaced the income that I was getting from my kitchen company, which seems mad to me. I mean, I remember so clearly looking back on the 20 plus years that I had gone out and sold kitchens, and laughing at that. I mean, laughing, why hadn't I made this change earlier on? 18 months after really deciding, making that decision, and one of the things you've got to do, if this is for you, is you've got to actually make that decision. You've really got to, rather than kind of thinking, well, I'll kind of dabble this, I'll maybe get one property, I'll maybe get a second property. You've literally got to go out of your way to actually make a firm decision and jump in with both feet. So 18 months later, I built myself an income which had replaced my income from my kitchen business. And now, ultimately, I don't really do a lot. Every now and again, I go and buy another property deal, or I kind of help somebody else out and just spend my time enjoying life, frankly. So that was my motivator, was the fact that I actually lost somebody that was really close to me. In fact, the sad thing is that I didn't really realise how much of a friend he was until ultimately I'd lost him, which was tragic. And I think one of the things I always encourage people to do is actually to really kind of look within themselves and find what is really going to motivate them. There's a whole load of stuff we can talk about this. I'm sure you've all heard of the reason why. Everybody that's spent any time in property has heard other kind of trainers talking about how important it is to have a really powerful reason why, and it really is. But sometimes it doesn't come very easily. For me, I had to dig quite deep to find my reason why. But the main instigator was that. The main instigator was that. The big mistake I made, and if I'm being honest, I was a bit of an idiot in this regard. The big mistake I made was taking a kitchen company which was making a really good 6-figure income, and I didn't do anything clever. I didn't do what I should have done, which was to sort of sell it on. I just kind of walked away from it, which was a terrible mistake. If you're in business and you're wanting to make the transition from your business to property, don't be a fool like I was, and in essence, walk away from that business. So thank you for the question. I really appreciate it. I don't often talk about the stuff my past really, but hopefully that gives you some insight into why I actually made the change. And if you want to sort of learn a few more tips and tricks over these next 21 days, or 19 days now, be sure to subscribe. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you for the tip about doing landscape mode. I will do all my videos live landscape from now on. And so, yeah, thanks ever so much. So from Cadiz, thank you ever so much. And I'll look forward to doing something else tomorrow. Take care. Bye for now.